And we are live just north of Jewfish Basin because, of course, it's more shallow than what the charts say, and we're too deep of a draft to go in there. So we're going to have to go enjoy it with the other boats by tender later. I'm your host, Jedi, and this is
Anna. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. So happy you're joining us. But today is going to be a beautiful day. We're going to have a beautiful talk today. And welcome again to our Freedom Flotilla Festival 2025.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. Good to meet with other boats, and we can see a bunch of them back there behind us. Boat kept rotating. We were hoping we could get them in the screen behind us here, but they're fairly decent ways away for the catamarans and the more motorboats that don't have the depth. So we're excited to gather here. Today's just a little opening. We're just going to talk about Bitcoin versus gold here in about 15 minutes. And you're going to have to be live on Facebook or YouTube at Alchemist or X at Alchemist Jedi, Jedi Hill on Facebook. And I'm going to get off the radio now, and you're just going to have the live here. So my honey had some fun comparisons.
Well, I wanted to actually give, I know, presentations, just a quick, brief overview of
Go right ahead.
who and Jedi are, or
Go,
this is
go
okay.
do whatever you want.
So Jedi actually is he's a multifaceted being. So he has a lot of skills and knowledge, and um, he amazed me. I know I'm his significant other. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but still, looking back into 2018, and we've been together since 2018. I remember you were giving me like this investing ideas and like writing books and doing all those amazing things. And I looked at you and I was like, there's no way we can do all of this. Guys, we actually have done it.
Go back to the first one. The first.
Well, the first one is your book, which helped me tremendously.
But yeah. The book Alchemy of the Master
Alchemy of the Master Path, yes.
It's
Yes, it was fascinating. But what else?
go back to the story of our four flags and how that worked.
Oh, yes. So I was in the market for buying a house, and Jedi actually he said, no way you're buying a single family home. You're gonna buy a multi-family because we're buying an investment. We're not buying just a cookie cutter house. And we're literally Marina Sozina, if you're listening to this, she's the realtor now in Miami. Tampa. We're gonna be on the way to see you again. But you are amazing. You are so patient with me. I'm very picky. And we literally looked at hundreds of homes online. And I think 50 homes we went inside together with Marina Sozina, a realtor right now in Tampa. And here's this house. I still remember that day. It was during the day. It was beautiful, sun shining outside, and we were in our apartment because we lived at that time in apartment, 2018. And I was Jedi doing research and looking at homes, and I know I'm gonna be brief.
No, go right ahead.
And I just want to paint this picture because here I am, this beautiful sunshine shining. Jedi showing me this beautiful home that is way of a budget. Way over budget. And I said, there's no way we can get this home. And I'm in love with this house. I was just like obsessed.
It was double what her budget was in her mind.
Yes. So, and we did it together with Realtor. We did it. And there's so many real estate tricks. Well, not tricks, but
tricks of the trade. Yeah.
Tricks of the trade that I learned that I didn't even know. So, and that's how we made it. So, and then there's other things. And it's just like, I'm looking back and I'm seeing Jedi has proved himself that you can actually get things done, which you say you could do. And I'm not saying it to, make it fluffy and appealing to you. But what I'm saying is that if he's saying he can build New Atlantis, he can do it together with people. And that's why we're here. We're gathering up like-minded people who are, and now I'm going to my analogy that I talked, who are, remember how this America started? So there was people immigrated from, was it from England, right?
England, Spain,
Europe.
France.
So Europe, there was a first wave of immigration, right? And how the America was discovered. Supposedly it was discovered by Columbus. But
It's actually Italian Americo Vespucci. That's why it's called America, not Columbus.
well, and plus we know there were Native American people here already, so it was not discovered. Well, it was maybe discovered by Europeans, but
well, they're the colonizers, and
so,
most of the problems are coming from Europe.
So we have this. So what I want to focus on this American dream. You know, people coming to America for a dream. And I'm talking to all of you immigrants, or people who are aspiring to come to America or been dreaming about it, because I was you back in the day. I was you, and I came to this country to build this dream, and we have built this dream, and then we live in the dream, and
it's got its hardships too. Don't let her...
Hardships. Oh, hardships. Oh, lots of hardships. But you persevere. You go. You work hard. You do all those things, and Americans came to United States for an American dream.
A home, a car, getting to, own your own piece of land.
Freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of getting together, like this flotilla. It's our freedom. We are practicing our divine freedom to gather up and communicate, and
First Amendment right of assembly,
yes.
Right of freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Yes.
Yes, and this is what America is about. So the American dream was 1.0. New Atlantis is the extension of American dream, and I'm not gonna get into what you're gonna speak about, but this is just like tidbits I gave you, and this is why we're doing it, because we want to continue the American dream. We want to build something even better. Complete it. Thank you for the correction.
Well, no. It's a very important, nuanced thing, because America did wonderful for like the first 150, 170 years. Then you got the creature from Jekyll Island, and if you haven't read the book, go look into it. They got all the people who were against the Federal Reserve on a sister ship of the Titanic and sabotaged, and your JP Morgans, your Rockefellers, and all them suddenly didn't show up right as the ship was about to take off, because it was intentionally sabotaged to sink and kill all the competition. And that's what brought in the Federal Reserve, and then income tax, and then property tax, and all this other stuff, where the government is just robbing from you on a daily basis.
Yes. So, and then
I can't even see the screen. It's so bright.
Come closer. And I'm looking at the time, because I know 4 o'clock is the
4:09. Yeah.
4:09.
It's 4:09 right now.
Okay.
So we got time, and we'll go right from one to the other.
Okay. Yes. But this is what I wanted to speak from my heart for other fellow American citizens, that America was founded on such a great promise and premise, and I desire this country to become even better.
Now, she said nice things about me, but Anna here
yes,
is a linguistics expert. Like we pick on her. She is fluent in multiple languages.
Yes.
English, Russian. She knows a fair bit of Latin and Greek, because she actually learned medical terminology in both English and Russian.
Yes.
So the Latin and Greek root is there. You got a little bit of French, and the
Arabic I learned.
Arabic, thank you.
I was planning to go to one of the Arabic countries, but the situation was not good. But yes, continue, my love. Thank you. Yeah.
So
thank you.
You have this expertise. This girl grew up in the Soviet Union, of which Ukraine and all these other things are part. It was all part of the Soviet Union before it broke into the smaller countries.
Yeah.
And she was a kid when the Berlin Wall fell. So she got to go through the bread lines and everything else as a kid, where they would give you, what would they give you? How would they give it?
We call it talents, you know, or stipends, or I don't know, tickets actually. Each family would have a certain number of tickets for like flour, sugar, milk, you know, your essentials, which is a great it's good, you know, like it's not in a way it's good, but I'm looking at America and I'm just comparing other countries, because I always compare Russia and America. So, and I didn't mean to rap, but this is just like a good analogy again with American system, what they have food stamps, right? So this technically was footsteps. So the whole country was on footsteps.
Except it was done
in a good way, not junk food, but you know, your staple foods, like your meat,
bread, your flour.
Yeah, I don't remember the meat though, but I remember the flour, bags of sugar, bags of flour.
Yeah, the meat was a rare treat.
Yeah, I think we had eggs. Yes, we had eggs, milk, you know, beans, you know, rice, you know, your most essentials. Yes. Superior. There you go. There you go. Yes.
But you know, after she's gone through all of this, she came to America in 2003 for the American Dream.
Yes.
And it's an American success story. We met in 2018. It was 2019 we got the fourplex. And within another 9 months or so, well, a couple months later, she was pregnant. We were in love, and I'm like, I can't have, you know, the soon mother of my child working for somebody else. So we ended up getting an apartment complex, and of course the US government did the pandemic for the COVID, going back to Bill Gates and Fauci and all kinds of other stuff we're not going to go into today.
I think it was 2019 when I was pregnant.
Yeah, you were pregnant in 2019 through 2020 is when you had the miscarriage.
Yeah, yes, I worked for the clinic at that time.
Yeah, they forced MMR vaccine on her, which caused the miscarriage.
Yes.
And since we knew COVID was man-made, I'm like, no way in hell am I leaving you in this place where they're going to try and inject you with all kinds of weird stuff. And
they would have injected me with many other things. Yes, I agree.
the COVID mRNA.
Oh, thank God I did not get that one.
Has killed millions of people, way more than the virus ever did. It's really sad. I've watched how many people have got sick and died from it. I've seen many people's personalities change. And it's just, you know, everybody that kept the mask on and, you know, was the tattletales on their friends for the hotlines are exactly who would have turned in the Jews, you know, during Hitler's time. So pretty much everybody on the left proved, even though they're screaming that the right is Hitler, you know, proved they were on the side of the evil fascist totalitarian governments. And when you actually understand the left-right politically, okay, far left is communist or totalitarian dictator. Mm-hmm. Then you move closer to the center, which is where the average person is. And then you start going to the right, you get libertarian. And then far right is anarchy. No rulers, just self-rule. So I really chuckle when the news media tries to say, you know, far right is fascist because it's the actual polar opposite and they're trying to confuse you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the water. So we got the apartment complex and started fixing that up, and we got her to quit her job at Cleveland Clinic less than 18 months from when we started dating. Unfortunately, we don't have any kids due to that situation, and that's why I've got her in paradise now.
To relax.
To help her calm down, de-stress, so we can get her pregnant again.
Yes, so we can continue heritage. But anyway, enough about us.
So this is about you,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
watching at home
How we
at,
can
at the festival. And let me see if I can see the time here. 16. So the Bitcoin showdown, like I had a few people, even some that were famous, that were said would come, and then everybody flaked. So
Hey, you know so much about that. So you're just gonna present your knowledge and your research and expertise because you've been researching this every day. Seriously, I see this guy reading news articles, one after another, one after another, or talking to people from around the world about economics and current global economy. And it's just every day like this. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I can't. I need a peace of mind. I can't meditate. But the reason I'm saying that is that he has the knowledge, and if I hold on, sorry, I apologize for interrupting. If I met this guy when I came to this country, I would have been a billionaire. Seriously, multi-billionaire.
You're still not doing that bad in the 7 years we've been together, and we live on a luxurious 50-foot yacht. It has a couple quirks and that because we were rushing down.
Battle ones it has. From the Bill's Landing dock. It was like the boat was docked, so he's a great captain. But the boat was docked, and it was just like
yeah, they had like 7-foot tides there, so you can't.
And the rubber was like off, and nails were like really scratching the left side of the boat. So
like you keep your brand new truck.
Night. That's what exactly happened. But anyway, it's still well together.
Yeah, we've done the main repairs. It's they just need sanded off and new gel coat put on so you can't see it.
We'll fix it. Battle Wounds is coming from the Green Bay, Wisconsin. So right.
Yeah, hey, if that's all we got, for real damage, because we had to do crazy things. I've had to replace boards on the bowsprit to keep it functioning so you don't fall through when trying to drop anchor. We almost had the rudder fall off and had to get divers.
Yeah.
We had the propeller fall off and had to get a new one. And God bless Earl. Like, we love the boat overall. But you were not a serious boater. So you were a home builder. So there were some things that were done really, really well. Like the interior is
interior. I fell in love with this interior. When I stepped down below the deck and I was like, oh my God. I still remember the day. This is the
right. But we got
replacement. Beautifully built inside, yes.
And the hull and everything is solid. She's a tank. Absolutely love it. She weighs way more than a boat would this size normally.
Yeah.
And I personally like the little durability. And it was built for a giant because he was like 6'4", so I can put my hand on the ceiling and flat palm like stretched all the way up.
Yes, for other boaters, especially sailboaters. What is it? I don't remember the designs, but most of them, the captain's quarters, they have low ceilings. And we literally looked at so many boats, and it was just, no, we can't.
It's like divorce.
This is the reason for divorce. Yeah, no, we cannot do this. But what I'm saying is that, so I don't know where we're going with this boat.
Perseverance, where you're going to get. It took us 5 years of planning to get here because we knew World War III was going to escalate, and I was concerned about the Jap camps.
Yeah.
So at least with a boat, we can leave the country if needed.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be like a Jewish person, back in the German days,
or the Japanese,
or Japanese in America. No, I'm sorry.
and
we're sovereign human beings, and I believe that we are all sovereign human beings, and nobody.
And that's what this all is about.
Yeah.
The dollar. We're in. Give you a little history of money as we're going to get into the Bitcoin. I apologize, I didn't title the video right. It should have been the opening introduction and the Bitcoin versus gold showdown. I'll come in later and change the title for other people.
Yeah.
But, a little history of money. Money started out as barter and trade. It's like, hey, you have this beautiful dress. I want to buy this dress. Will you take 10 chickens?
Yeah.
And it's just not practical that way. And then we came up with like things like seashells and other random.
Seashells?
Yeah, there's parts of the world that use seashells as currency.
Wow.
And, whether it was Anunnaki aliens or who knows what, gold became the standard medium, with silver being the money for the common people.
Mhm.
So, and gold is virtually indestructible. They've shown you can superheat it, you can tear it apart, you can do anything, and you really can't destroy it. So, with money, you've got to have those standards. It's got to be a store of value.
Yes.
So you look at all the energy that was taken to mine the gold, forge the gold, turn it into a coin. Same way with the silver. And that's where you get your value. And some gold, near the surface, it'll panhandle and get it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Other you got to really dig deep. So the energy is variable.
Oh yeah, that's what I remember in the Soviet times. Not sure, but some of the movies we started watching at some point when the borders open and we can watch American stuff. I still remember there's still movies like that, but panhandling, where they go gold hunting and they try to get the gold. This image is still in my head, and it's amazing how this country was found on gold and then making coins out of it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, in your Constitution, gold and silver are the only money. As J.P. Morgan said, the original J.P. Morgan, gold is money, everything else is credit. So let's get a little ahead of ourselves, and we'll back and rewind. So gold and silver became money. And then you had the Roman Empire. And like, hey, we need to expand our empire. We need more money for war and stuff like this. Sound familiar with America and some of the other, England and some of these other countries. So what they started doing is they'd mix a little bit of copper in with the silver.
Oh.
A little bit of tin.
Oh.
So, at first you couldn't tell. But then it's like, oh, you can't bite into your gold coin anymore. It's tainted. There's something else in it. It's not really just gold. And at some point, as you're getting to the fall of Rome, you have the coins are looking almost pure copper. They're supposed to be silver because they are devalued. This is what's known as Gresham's Law.
Oh.
When bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding.
Well, let me put something in there. Pause on that. I remember that. Roman Empire, they were conquerors, war, killing women. I don't know, killing. So, and plus, that's unethical behavior, mixing gold with copper. So they're not keeping it pure, right?
Yeah, they devalued the currency by creating more fake money. Okay. And that is, there's two aspects of this.
It's karma. That's where I'm going with that, because I'm coming from a spiritual perspective. I feel like it's karma. That's why the empire didn't last, because it's golden rule: do good and good will come to you. Do harm and harm will come to you sooner or later. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe next lifetime, your grandchildren, but it will come and hunt you.
So you have two aspects of this, and they're tied together. And we'll get into China here in a little bit as we go into this, because if you don't have the history of money and the understanding, the discussion of gold versus Bitcoin isn't going to make any sense.
Yes. History lesson. Yay. I love history. Funny thing.
Oh, yeah.
I used to hate it in school. Now I'm like, yeah, let's go history.
Right.
Let's go.
And they say, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it.
It's true.
So this is my warning for you here in America and other parts of the world. Your dollar is dying. Since 1913, when the Federal Reserve took over, they've intentionally created boom-bust cycles. They started money printing, which increases the money supply. So let's say Okay, we have this speaker here. This speaker represents all the physical goods traded in the world. And then she's got a stack of like $100 bills. Well, that speaker is equivalent to that $100 bill. But now the government decides to print, and now you have two stacks. So you have 200 stacks of $100 bills.
Or real estate.
Well,
yes.
Okay. So this is representing everything.
Yeah.
All goods and services that include everything.
Yeah.
Sum total. But now your stack of money has gone from 100 stacks of $100 bills to 200 stacks. So the prices of everything doubles, but you don't have any more goods and services. That's exactly what is happening today. And the Federal Reserve here just this last week announced they're going to start money printing again and buying up treasuries to further inflate the money supplies. So I'll give you, like, we're from Ohio. It's the cheapest spot in the country. So a dozen eggs was before COVID was 50 to 70 cents. Now that same dozen eggs is $3.50 to $5.
Yes, but remember it went up, and the Trump. Remember he was able to put the price down, right? On eggs. I remember I listened to Trump's presentation.
Ignore his speech.
Okay.
That man talks.
Okay.
There's more details here. You're overcomplicated.
But I'm just saying, yes.
So supply and demand, it's all about how much supply, how much demand. So we'll use the egg one. It spiked to where it was like $8, $9 a dozen.
Yes.
So now, $5 seems cheap, but it's still 5 times what it was when it was under $1.
Yeah.
So it's the illusion. They spike the price up higher, come back down a little bit. You think you're getting a deal, but you're not. And this was during the Biden time that it jumps. And not only did you have the inflation of the money supply, but they were intentionally doing the bird flu and killing off the chickens, which drastically reduced the egg supply.
Oh.
Intentional. So that's why the eggs fluctuated so extreme. Plus you had the fuel prices going up and insane. And, now they're trying to manipulate the oil prices down. And versus silver, like 1 ounce of silver is more than a 300-pound barrel of oil.
Mm-hmm.
And a barrel of oil is 42 gallons, just so you know. I don't know why it's not the 55-gallon drum, but that's what they figured for the Brent or whatever. I don't remember the exact there. But back to the money. Because this is where...
Yes.
And if you're leaving comments, it is so bright here. I know we got several on here.
We'll answer the comments, I guess, after.
Yeah. We'll get back to the comments later. I just got the sun right in my eyes, so... Even with the sunglasses, it's kind of bright, and just like the way the current is, I can't turn the boat far enough to get it out of my eyes.
Back to the monetary system and the money.
Yeah. Let's slow down. Let's go back. So Rome started devaluing the currency, and that's how we had the fall of Rome. Now, before we get to America, let's go to China. Because China, they were a little more crafty here with the banking system and things like that. Because you got to give some of the Chinese ingenuity. They're kicking our ass in automation and tech and right now. The way it is right now, they have twice.
America is so behind. Yes.
Yeah, at the moment. America, if we don't get Russia on our side against China, we're going to lose World War III.
That would be nice.
No, it would not be nice if America lost World War III.
No, it would be nice if Russia joins. That's
okay. Make sure we're clarifying here.
Speaking from Russia, that would be nice.
For the audience.
And Russia to work together. I absolutely would love that. But anyway.
So, okay, like with banks, the coin changers this is, if you know the stories of Jesus, like it was actually the money, the coin changers, Jesus was kicking over the tables and whipping them out of the temple. So it's the money, and this is where all the Jew hate really comes in. Yeah, we're both there.
Okay.
Because, well, we're gonna hit on it.
Yes, the Jews.
Because those of you that know my logo, it's a mixture of multiple symbols. I'm very much into the esoteric and the occult, maintaining knowledge.
Yeah.
So I might hit more on the symbology of mine, which has the six-pointed star, the seal of Solomon, the circumput, the Native American medicine wheel, which means earth and terra. And my logo was designed, when you look at it, to bring people. Well, you got that's the other cover.
Oh, actually, believe it or not, we actually have it. Didn't you put it in?
No, that's in the old one. We'll come back. That's the new cover. It was on the old cover.
Oh, on the old cover, yes, you're right.
But you can show them that real quick. That's.
Oh, we were looking at Jedi's book, Alchemy and the Master's Path. This is a new design.
Yeah, they can see.
Okay. Anyway, this is going to be a gift. I will show you a shop basket later.
The coin changers, and this is where, Iceland was smart and jailed the bankers during the 08 crash. And if the rest of the world had done that, we wouldn't be dealing with these issues right now with the high inflation. But we'll get there. No, it's not in there. Focus. Stay here. Be here now.
Money. Topic.
Money. Everybody's favorite topic.
Yes,
most of you, money is your God, whether you believe it or not. I know very few of us. Well, not you. I'm saying the common man. They're either hunting and spending every waking minute to earn money and hating it, so you're cursing out your God, or you're playing, the Jew banker card where you love money and you do usuri, which is high interest rates and rent collecting in that way. You're not actually providing, rental housing or anything or service. You're just, hey, we're going to lend you money and then charge you an exuberant rate to pay it back. Like you buy a house for $100,000.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of houses are way more than that. We're just using simple math here. If you buy a property for $100,000, you're going to pay $200,000 to $250,000 total back to the bank when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not talking about different states and different prices. We're from Ohio, so real estate is so much cheaper than here.
Yeah, I can still get you houses for $50,000 to $100,000 in Ohio that are nice homes.
Yeah.
Here you're gonna Key West, you're gonna pay $1 million for a trailer, just like you would in Aspen, Colorado.
We stepped outside of the this resort. We were in Marina because it was one of the deep water marinas.
One of only two, yeah.
Two. There's no other deep water marinas. And you stepped outside of the gates because it's a gated community, and there's like poverty, mobile homes.
There's like going
RVs
or other third
RVs, and and lots of foreigners. I'm like, are we still in America? Hold on. Are we in America? I was confused. I had the backflashes of Thailand, Turkey. Thailand.
We had multiple Uber drivers, and one guy kind of spoke English out of like the 4 Uber drivers we got. We had people from Haiti, from Mexico, and I don't even know where the other guy that didn't speak English was from.
Yeah, Haiti. The other one, we don't know. We didn't ask.
He didn't speak enough English to even attempt.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy who kind of spoke somewhat English was Mexico.
Yeah, so those were our Uber drivers.
Yeah, it's really bad here. Trump. Get the ice in and you can eliminate half the population of Key West.
I don't know, the illegals or illegals, I have no idea. I can't say.
Part of immigration is you have to learn how to speak English to even become a citizen.
That's true. You take a test, but it's also you take a citizen a language test when you become a certified citizen. First, there's a
green card.
And that's not on the credit. I think there was something minimal, maybe.
The one guy was there 14 years and couldn't speak English. Like, this is definitely an illegal.
Well, let's not touch the topic. Yes, that's
money, 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 money
that you want to hear about.
Okay. So the Jew-hates, they're the ones where you have the term coin clipping came from, because they would shave off the edges of the coins, and then pretty soon everybody would do it, and that was a way to devalue the currency. That's why they put the ridges on it, so it was harder to shave the coins and take off the money value without people knowing.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was that one. So you have devaluation of currency that way. And then you had the banks would do IOUs. So you would go deposit your gold or silver in the bank, and they would give you a paper thing. And this is where China comes in.
I think Russia did something like this too.
Well, there are many other
certificate paper.
many other, quit distracting here.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay.
So China was one of the first ones to really get into the paper money. So, the banker's mind is like, hey, I got this big stack of gold from everybody that's doing it. It's like, but it's just sitting here collecting dust. What if I loan this out? Well, at first they would loan out the gold and get it back and have transactions, and that's where you get to some of the fractional reserve banking. But then, in China at first, when to do this, they started to really get smart. They're like, we don't even have to lend out the gold. We can create these paper banknotes that are supposed to be as good as gold, and you can take this paper banknote to the bank and trade it for gold. And it started out fine. Okay, you've got 100 ounces of gold, so you got 100 paper certificates. Well, of course, that's not going to work. So then they printed 200 certificates, then 300, then 1,000, then 10,000 certificates for the same 100 coins.
Oh, no.
But you had 10,000 people thinking they had their ounce of gold.
Oh.
And that was how the first fiat collapsed in China and destroyed their economy, and they had to go back to the gold standard. Then, a lot of the world for a long time stayed away from fiat, which is your paper fake money. And even with the Federal Reserve, they could only do so much. Back in 1933, what was that? FDR did this is scary. The U.S. government actually told you have to turn in your gold. Or face 10 years in prison.
Yeah, that did happen.
And we're going to give you $20.67 or whatever it was. Did the gold window for a few weeks, got the masses to turn it in, but the wealthy people were smart and they didn't do that. And then immediately, they revalued the gold to $35 an ounce. So dropping the value of your dollar by over 40%, like that. That happened during COVID too. Why you think everything went, the Federal Reserve printed 40% of the money in existence in a couple of years, and then you wonder why your inflation's going through the roof and prices went up. It's not greedy corporations and stuff. They all run business based on margins, because they understand the government is going to keep inflating away your money. So they do the margin just to keep their heads, above water a little bit and keep running the game. So that was 1933. Then in 1971, 72, Nixon took us off the gold standard, and technically the U.S. defaulted on its debt. And, since then, gold is now gone from the 35 an ounce. It jumped to like 42 immediately. And now we're like 4,300 an ounce since 1972, after Nixon took us off the gold standard in 71. So let's just use the 42 to 4,200. So that means you have $1 in your pocket. It is now worth 10 cents from 1972 in the last 50 years. Okay? That's just in the last 50 years.
10 pennies.
Yeah, from $1. Okay, now here's the other fun stuff. We go back to Rome. Rome got, more powerful, and then they started devaluing the currency, and then their birth rates dropped like a rock. So if you don't have babies, your economy doesn't maintain and it goes down. Well, after Nixon took us off the gold standard and he strong-armed Saudi Arabia to only sell oil in dollars, which is what created the petrodollar. So the US dollar is backed by bullets. That's really all that backs it. And that's still a pretty good threat. You're going to use our fake green skin, fake green frog skin, as we natives called it. Or we're going to shoot you if you don't accept it. That's basically what the dollar is at this point in time. And they're going to keep printing more money. And if you look back in 1970, before we went off the gold standard, you could have one job owner working in any random factory. Didn't matter if it was minimum wage. They could afford a home, a car, take a 2-week vacation every year.
Yeah.
Now, for people that do have it, you got 2 people working non-stops.
7 businesses.
And you're barely keeping your head above water. And it's like, hey, do I pay my electric bill this week, or do I eat this week? And that's where most people are at.
And even
and it all has to do with the money. So, and if you look at America since 1971, our birth rate has fallen off the cliff. And we're not even hitting in the COVID vaccines that sterilize like 1/3 of the women in America or any of that stuff. So these are going, and 1/4 of the US debt, like $9 trillion, is up for renewal this year. So they have to lower interest rates. And the Federal Reserve has to buy it because there aren't enough buyers to buy the debt, which means they're going to print more money, which means you're going to see inflation go through the roof again. The last time the Federal Reserve did this was back in the 1940s, right before World War II. And inflation hit 20% per year. So that means
5 years.
Say this is a gallon of milk. I know it's not, it's water. But gallon of milk used to be like $1.50. Now it's like $5. So in 5 years, it's going to go from $5 a gallon to $10 a gallon. And then in 5 more years, it'll be $20 a gallon. And that's Ohio prices. There's places gallon milk's already $10, is going to be 20 within the next 5 years, or it's 20, it's going to be 40 within 5 years. You get the concept.
Yeah, like just Venezuela or other countries.
Venezuela, Turkey, Weimar, Germany, where people were taking wheelbarrows of money to go buy a loaf of bread, and people would steal your wheelbarrow and leave the pile of money.
That's what, what's his name? Robert Kiyosaki said that. He's like, but I don't know if it's a true story, but it's so funny though. They throw away the cash and they steal the wheelbarrow.
Okay. So you get that gold is money and everything else is credit. And the fiat is just fake, funny money printing. And now that you have credit cards and everything digital on your bank accounts, it's much easier for them to hide the money printing. This is why Europe is going to CBDC, central bank digital currencies, so they can have programmable money and they can tell you have your carbon credits and whatever. And it's like, hey, like in China with your social credit system, like, hey, you talked off about the government. You said Xi was a dictator. Click. Your bank account's deleted. You're frozen. You can't get a job. You can't get on a plane, a train, anything else. And if people are even within 500 feet of you, their social score starts going down, and they can't do anything either.
So this can happen in the United States, right?
It has already happened in China. It is already coming to Europe, and the United States at the moment is our last chance for freedom.
Last chance.
So now,
last chance, you all.
That's your history of gold and fiat. Now, what about Bitcoin? Now, full disclosure here. I first heard about Bitcoin in late 2011. I started mining it on a laptop in 2012 and 2013. I stopped mining it during a halvening, and the price had dropped from like $10, $12 a coin down to like $1 a coin. And I'm like, that doesn't even cover my electricity anymore. So I stopped mining and I just left stuff on a hard drive that I'll look at in 2030. Don't know how many hundreds or thousands of coins I have, but that's a side project that we decided to put away. You know, undisclosed location where some of that stuff is, and I'm gonna have to do some road trips to go dig out some things to get that.
Oh.
But the Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, is who supposedly created it. There's all kinds of stories about whether it's CIA that actually did it, and there's cryptology papers and things like that. And it's basically, you know, a lot of people that are very smart see it as a precursor to a CBDC for the central bank digital currencies. There's only 21 coins. People think that's set in stone. It's software. It's not. Bitcoin has forked and split over and over. Some are soft forks. Some are hard forks. Unfortunately, people are stupid.
What are forks?
Okay. So a fork. Thank you. I'm a techie here.
I know, right?
So you know what a food or a salad fork is. So you go from the handle where it's one thing, and then the tip of the fork is 2, 3, 4 prongs. Okay, so that, or trident, yeah. So that is the concept of forking. You have the base blockchain, and then it splits. And if people were smart several years ago, this was back in like 2015, 2016. Go ahead and quote me the dates if you know this, but they had the Bitcoin Cash fork. And it would have actually improved the security of Bitcoin and been better overall technologically. But by that point, you had enough adoption from people that are just traders and gamblers, and they saw the other modifications to Bitcoin being better for their short-term wallets. So that was a hard fork, and people got both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash during that hard fork, unless they had Coinbase, Binance, and some of those just stole people's Bitcoin Cash during the fork. These exchanges are straight criminal, but that's another story for neither here nor there.
Oh, wow.
So Bitcoin is what's known on blockchain technology. So like chains that interlink for, you know, our boat here. You're using smaller segments of code all linked together. And yeah, hopefully it gives you a visual for what.
I'm not a Bitcoiner, so.
And the blockchain technology is beautiful. And it's what's used for the stable coins that are getting used to offload the almost 40 trillion in debt onto the rest of the world and to the common masses and all that type stuff. But the software is supposed to be 21 million coins. BlackRock has already talked about they want to increase the coin cap. And you have what's known as the hash rates, which is basically you have a bunch of computers doing math problems to solve and do work to mimic mining real gold.
Okay.
So that's why they try and compare Bitcoin to gold. Because they're trying to emulate digitally what is done physically with precious metals.
Oh. Is it though? Like it's analogy, but it's literally.
It's basically an Excel spreadsheet with zeros and ones. It's all public, trackable. So your code words and everything, they can find you wherever they want. You can't hide. It's bullshit if you think it's not. McAfee exposed that before he was assassinated. So back to the Bitcoin, it's the underlying blockchain is amazing. There have been advancements in the technology like Ethereum that went from a proof of work to a proof of stake, which is like having a title on a house. They're like, here, it's ownership, it's mine. So it's a little bit harder to hack in that for the Ethereum network. And that's when we got into the NFT craze that like bounced and fell. But Bitcoin itself does do good on being a store of value. It's an extremely volatile, trades like a tech stock. It will probably never trade like gold. About 90% of Bitcoin's market cap, which is like 2 trillion right now, is just leverage and lent money. So really there's only about 200 billion of actual money invested in Bitcoin.
Oh, how many billions do people buy?
There's only 21 million coins, and that number's not supposed to change. But
no, like people, how many people bought? Like, do we know that number?
Oh, it's
like how many Bitcoiners have Bitcoins that they bought? Like on their
you could go look at the ledger, because one Bitcoin, like, okay, the problem with an ounce of gold is I can chop it up, I can shred it into dust, but I can only make it so small to where I can actually carry it with me before, oh, it's a speck of dust in my hand and it blows away. You can't do anything with it. So Bitcoin goes 8 decimal places out. So each Bitcoin can be broken up into like 10 million different little Satoshis or little pieces. So it's like taking 1 ounce of gold and taking that 1 ounce and breaking it into 10 million little pieces of gold.
That's funny.
So yeah, the technology itself is really cool.
Yeah. It sounds pretty cool.
And at the time of this recording, I was looking earlier, Bitcoin was bouncing somewhere between $86,000 and $87,000. Its high for the year was just under 126,000. I called the first top in January at 110,000. And then you had the Trump effect with the family pumping and pushing it. It dropped a little bit and they got it up, around 125. A year prior, when the Bitcoin was going through and it went from like at 60, 70 on its way up, I figured the top would be 125 or less. So I was off by like 1,000 in the guess when most people were expecting 150 to 200. So I was still closer than most of the people guessing.
Okay.
And now a lot of people like, oh, they want it to replace money, and it's just zeros and ones. And you're spending a lot of electricity to run computer servers and stuff like that to try and mine the Bitcoin. And each time they have a halvening, you get a lower reward. It's been a few months. Like back during the summer, I was looking, it was like $105,000 in electricity to mine 1 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. How much?
Like $105,000
to mine 1 Bitcoin. Yeah. Just like millions of chains, the codes.
You had to run lots of math problems. Yes.
Yeah.
And you were spending $105,000 to get a coin that's now worth $87,000. The Michael Saylor with the MSRT,
okay.
His whole like 5-year, he's pretty much in the hole for the whole thing.
What's his name?
Michael Saylor, MSRT, which used to be a computer company that just went into another scam with the Bitcoin, Ponzi scheme, borrowing money to buy more Bitcoin, to borrow more money, and just betting on the price going up. So I feel really bad for anybody that got conned into that and you like mortgaged your house or whatever to buy Bitcoin. And it's gotten to the point of what they wanted, the adoption stage, where BlackRock has ETF, which is a electronically traded funds. And as they've shown with gold, that stuff is actually used to suppress the price of the Bitcoin and reduce the volatility. So traders can, with sophisticated computers that can trade 90,000 times a second, you're not going to beat the AI people unless you have, top coaxial cable right by the servers. You're just not going to beat them. And the big arguments for Bitcoin are, it's was supposed to be transparent, but it's traceable, so you're giving up your privacy there. So we'll give it a half a check mark. It was supposed to become a currency, which it completely fails at because the entire network can only trade at 7 transactions per second. And yes, you have the Lightning Network as a tier 2 to trade faster, and you have the exchanges, and the vast majority of transactions are done off the chain in some Coinbase, Binance program.
We're trying to see if there's any comments.
There's comments going on. I just can't read them. It's too bright.
Maybe at the end we'll read the comments. Yes.
We'll get back through. We'll come back and respond. And it's nice having somebody that's not a techie because she wouldn't ever let me talk about this stuff.
In terms of how the Bitcoin is, it's.
So you have the Bitcoin, like your stages of money. It's supposed to be a store of value. You're supposed to be able to exchange it. And they talk about it using the waste energy, and you're not using waste energy. What you're doing, if you don't have a solar or other setup of your own power, you're coming in areas that have cheap electricity, increasing the demand for the electricity, which is causing all the locals in the area to subsidize your Bitcoin mining, and you're driving up their electric bills.
No.
Just like the data centers for the AI are driving up the electric prices. So that's a falsehood from that. The big one, the big claim to fame is, hey, I can put all my Bitcoin on a flash drive and stick it in my pocket. I can have 100 million or $1 billion in my pocket, and you can't put 100 million of gold in your pocket.
That's a legitimate reason.
And somewhat.
Okay, well, what's your contradiction?
So, well, this is true for maybe 100 to 1,000 people on the whole planet. 1,000 people, say, that actually have that much wealth, and you want to get it across borders and stuff like that. You're forgetting the kidnappings and things like that have been used to get people to give up their Bitcoin passwords and stuff like that. Yes, you can transport the 100 million or $1 billion or more in Bitcoin quite easily across borders. But the 99%, they don't have 100 million. They don't even have 1 million. The average net worth in America is, don't quote me, I haven't looked at this one lately because most people's wealth is tied up in their homes and that, and the equities is a fake number most of the time anyways, because it's just gambling of where the market is, and that's how the government can tax you more in property tax by saying the value of your property went up and you're paying more in taxes every year than what you actually paid for the property.
Or insurance, the same.
But let's say gold's 4,200 an ounce. You get 22 ounces in your pocket. You've got over 100 grand in your pocket, which would fit in the palm of your hand right here, no problem. And that is more than the net worth of 99% of people on the planet. 99% of people have 100 grand or less in net worth. If you took all their money and converted it to gold, it would still fit in their pocket. So that argument with Bitcoin is kind of null and void. Then you have the fact that Bitcoin is really backed by nothing. It's a glorified ledger Excel spreadsheet that is ones and zeros on the computer, and it's not tied to anything real or physical.
Tangible, yes.
So they're trying to say, it's like, hey, you can never destroy Bitcoin. Like, you can never destroy gold because you'd have to destroy every computer on the planet. No, that's not true. All we need is another Carrington level event from the sun. And the network is basically gone. And in a grid down scenario, if you don't have the physical precious metals,
fairy cage.
well, even if you have it on your, even if you are able to save your computer and your stuff, if nobody else has a computer to transact with you, you're done and gone.
Oh, that. Okay, so if somebody has it on the computer, okay, nobody can inject on the computer. You're right. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
So
You're right.
And then you have the fact that, you know, gold's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and less than 0.5% of people have any gold whatsoever. So 1 out of 200 people have maybe 1/10 of 1 ounce of gold or more, or have 1 gram of gold or more. And
yeah, everybody has it in cash, physical assets.
For most people, this is all the gold they have, is for their wedding rings or jewelry. Mm. Hey, I was trying to show off this beautiful emerald.
I was like, okay, very gentle. Very gentle. Here.
I'm a giant. So now the advantages to Bitcoin is it is a trustless system. It's based on the computer network, and you have all the nodes of the different people who are mining it that cross-check the database every 10 minutes or so. So you reduce duplicate transactions, even though with the BlackRock ETFs and other things, it's just like printing paper money, and they're duplicating the Bitcoin, just not on the chain. So you don't really know who owns it. And that's a whole nother ball of wax, but we'll stick to the on-chain, you know, accurate. It does have that advantage that it is traceable and accurate, but it's not going to hit 1 million or 10 million unless, and here's where a lot of the Bitcoiners don't really get it.
Okay.
And I'm okay having a little, like 1 to 5% of your portfolio in Bitcoin.
Spill the beans. What's on less?
Okay. So Bitcoin, you know, it's good because it is not fiat, which means it's not, the government can't print more of it, so it's supposed to stay at the 21 million coins. Even though with software, if you had more than 51% of the people mining it, you could fork it and change 1 Bitcoin to 1 Satoshi, and now you have like 21 trillion Bitcoins to make it easier for the common person to understand, because the 8 decimal places, the average person just can't comprehend that many spots behind a zero. It's like they count on their fingers here, people. Like Bitcoin was made for us nerds, not for the average person. Which is part of why it'll never have mass adoption, because it's too complex for the average person to understand.
Yeah.
And some people just get smart and like, hey,
cool, yeah. I understand it, yeah.
So let's go back to market cap. This is the concept of, hey, based on the number of this object at its current price, it would take X amount of money to do it. So let's say this is 1 Bitcoin or 1 gold coin. Well, based on the 21 million Bitcoin, and I'll even round, you know, the number up to, you know, 100,000, you've got a 2.1 trillion market cap then. At the 87, it's like a 1.8, whatever, 1.8. It's been a long day, sorry. But we'll say 2 trillion market cap for there. So to go from 100,000 to 1 million, you know, the market cap would have to 10x. So you'd have to have a 20 trillion market cap. To go to the 10 million, you would have to have a 200 trillion market cap. Well, currently, for all the money in the world is only like 100 and something trillion. So you would have to have more money than all the money in the entire world for Bitcoin to hit $10 million. Now, that being said, you have things like Zimbabwe dollars where you had $1 trillion bill.
Wow.
Yeah, that was worth like maybe 10 cents.
Was it Clevelanders? Yeah, we are from Cleveland. Clevelanders, 1,000. This is like there used to be $1,000 in
yeah, the Clevelands compared to your Benjamins.
Yeah.
So your Benjamin becomes a Cleveland and stuff like that. And you know, the market cap of gold is around 30 trillion, so like 15 times the total market cap of Bitcoin. And since gold is money and everything else is credit, you know, it's just the math doesn't work for Bitcoin to hit that, you know, $10 million number. Unless the US government, because Bitcoin is a derivative of the dollar and directly correlated because everything is priced in dollars because of bullets, bang, bang, at the moment until it's no longer the reserve currency, and China is trying to challenge that with the digital renminbi and stuff like that for the Chinese yuan. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yes.
So in order for Bitcoin to hit $10 million, remember how I said this was like a gallon of milk and it's going to go from $5 to $10? Well, for Bitcoin to hit 10 million, this 1 gallon of milk will cost you $1,000 equivalent. That is how much money they would have to print. So no matter which way you look at it, your Bitcoin is going to be worth less and less in real value of goods and services from this point forward. And it'll have some fluctuations up and down, because the stock market is like someone walking up and then down a hill and then back up the next hill with the yo-yo. So the overall market is you walking up and down the hill, but the fluctuation is the yo-yo going up and down. Mm-hmm. So you might see a little bit of yo-yo movement, but Bitcoin still has a long way to fall before they really start hyperinflating the currency to bring it back up. So that's where, you know, it's okay to have a little bit of it. It's too complicated for most people to transact, but you're starting to have credit cards that'll pay you in Bitcoin, and it's just, it's, yeah, instead of you getting cash back, your cash back is in Satoshis. Oh. And I don't know their process of how you get it into your own wallet so you actually own it, but it's going to be a little complicated. So
comments?
There you're getting my thoughts on, you know, Bitcoin. It has its value because it's not the dollar. So it's going to gain value versus the dollar, but compared to gold and silver, which will become unobtainium, the gold and silver at this point now, if you were in Bitcoin in like 2014, 2015, yeah, Bitcoin is awesome. If you're trying to buy Bitcoin now, you're screwing yourself over.
Do you want to look at the comments from there or turn the phone around? You can see better?
I don't know if it can flip. Let me.
Oh, no, just on this one.
I'm just going to turn this way so I can see a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So we got some people saying nice, nice, like Manda Danielle. Oh, these are YouTube comments. It's not showing me the Facebook comments. You know, talk carnal passion. My husband, love my hubby forever. Merry Christmas. So yeah,
Merry Christmas, guys.
So that's a little bit of the gold versus Bitcoin to give you my views. Like, it has utility.
So what's the future of the money, though?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the future of the money. So what can people do?
So this is my plan for New Atlantis, and with DeSantis and stuff signing things into law and going back to the Constitution where gold and silver are money, we can work on building trustless mints, and we can use the blockchain. Because some of the problems with Bitcoin is you lose your password, it's done, it's gone. It transacts very slowly. 7 transactions per second.
And plus, you increase electricity for other people. I mean, like
it's because of the way it's designed. Like, you're going to use some electricity, and they talked about Bitcoin's supposed to be decentralized, and with the server farms and everything else, it's become centralized and everything. So I'm not going to give all the details on the future of money.
That's for tomorrow.
Well, no. It's because it's proprietary stuff I'm actually working on with Devin and other people that's going to. Yeah, so I can't give all you the details, but
what?
I'm going to give you some basis. So you had gold, you had Bitcoin. You got Bitcoin is built on that blockchain technology. So you got to take the core of how Bitcoin was constructed with the blockchain and bring it together with the physical gold. And that will be the future of money. So in China, after they hacked my phone with TikTok, they have now created little like vaults on the side of banks where you can put your gold coins in, and it's going to melt it down with a blowtorch. And it's going to measure, weigh and test the purity of the gold, and then give you credits based on that.
Where is that?
China. Yeah, they stole part of that idea, but they still built some of the tech so we can save some time and do it better.
Yes, let's do better.
So you want to keep the decentralized. So I think my honey is over here somewhere. So instead of having giant server farms, things like these, each person will have one account, and their phone will act as the miners to verify the transactions to keep it legitimate and give everybody a chance to earn a little bit of income based off the gold and silver transactions. So that's why we'll keep it decentralized. I'm not going to get into the proprietary of how we're going to do some of this, but we are going to have it over 1 million transactions per second. So you will be able to transact anywhere in the world. You'll be able to do small little micro transactions that are a fraction of a penny, and fun stuff like that. But it'll also be directly exchangeable for physical metals. So to get currency, to get the tokens or whatever, you're going to have to go to an automated vault, and it's going to melt down your gold and silver and then give you tokens based on that gold and silver. But say, hey, you don't want tokens anymore, you can plug your phone in with a USB or just tap it on the screen with the Bluetooth, and the machine will just start kicking out the gold coins based on the number of tokens you have. So you'll be able to go between the physical and the digital and marrying them together, and that is what the future of money will be. So, and I've even got ways on how you'll be able to recover lost passwords and things like that. So say, you dropped your phone in the ocean. Oops, it's gone. Which she's already...
Lake Erie took my phone.
Yeah. The last one. You've done pretty good on the ocean. You've made it pretty good without losing it. I thought she was going to lose it a few times.
Yes.
But if you lose your phone or stuff like that, you'll be able to have ways to recover passwords, which you can't do with Bitcoin. And it'll be following the U.S. Constitution of gold and silver being, exchanged to give us a way to transact that follows the letter of the law and gives people a way that where you don't have to use just paper funny money. You can actually, when you get paid, you can convert it to paper funny money. Yeah, it's all fake money. You got to think of the dollars in your pocket or in your bank account as Monopoly money.
Yeah.
And one of those little rules in Monopoly, which is a great game,
Yes, it is
the bank can never run out of money. If the bank runs out of money, you just wrote IOUs and keep handing out more fake money. So with physical gold and silver, you can't create any fake, and it creates a backstop and limit, which will actually stop inflation. And instead of things getting more expensive over time, you will have the great cheapening, where everything starts getting cheaper and more affordable.
Yes. Let's go back to that.
And that's why the period of the late 1800s was known as the Gilded or the Golden Age.
Mhm.
And the government was able to run just off of tariffs
Beautiful days.
without any income tax or things like that. And it was able to take care of people. Like, you know, your minimum wage was
Yeah.
$1.25.
And the women can stay home and raise children versus
Yeah, we
working
can get
multiple jobs and children just running around and
we
not
can
being taken care of.
we can totally get that.
Yeah.
So that is what we're looking at for the future of money. Hope you had a fun talk, and we will have more fun stuff tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. What time do we start?
We got Reveille at 9:11,
9/11.
and then
9/11 we're studying. And I think I'm gonna make short video and show you some presents that we're gonna have for
well, here you can go and
no, I'm gonna do a separate video. Okay.
you can do a separate video too. But
Okay,
so show them second
I-
prize first. Second prize.
Second prize. Second prize is
Your book.
so this is my published book. I don't know if you can see it.
Freedom is Chosen.
Freedom is Chosen.
Oh, you're not giving them the other book? It's this book? Okay.
Well,
And So Be It, Girls Destined to Change Your Stars.
oh, no. This is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. The first title of it that got censored by Amazon, and she had to change.
Yes,
The cover.
Originally it was a communist virus. Can America be saved in time?
Cured in time.
Cured in time, and then I decided to change it because I didn't.
Because of the COVID, they were censoring it.
Yeah, and so this is an updated version of that book. So
You'll get that.
also, the second prize is gonna get a silver coin, and I'm gonna show it to you.
Since it's Christmas time.
As you can see, is Santa. I don't know if you can see it or
Yep, they
not.
can see. The camera's up there at the center.
Okay, I know.
Okay, there you go. Back up a little bit.
But I don't want to put the light on it. Okay, so can you?
Yep, they can see Santa. I can see Santa.
Okay. And there is a Christmas wreath on the other side.
Wreath. Yes.
Wreath on the other side. This is going to be a prize for second place for the Christmas boat decoration.
And then for the grand prize.
The grand prize is. So let me put this together.
Yeah, you don't have to go through everything in this one.
So this is a basket that we assembled. This is the first prize, one of them. There's a couple of few things in there. It's books and things
for
for voters and just, to enjoy. To enjoy Christmas. There is also consultation with you. 2-hour consultation with you, and
you upped it to 2 hours?
okay.
It was only an hour. But...
Okay, 1 hour, our consultation with you. Well, yes, and there was something else in the books. I put them in already. Yes.
So you'll get a copy of my book, Alchemy: The Master's Path, and our special guidebook we did for the eclipse last year.
Yes. So this is the guidebook. This is technically working on your mind and writing in your mind.
Getting your goals so you can escape the rat race. So,
yes.
And we've been at this almost an hour and a half. So this is Jedi and Anna.
Yeah.
Signing off.
Signing
See you tomorrow.
Peace and love, guys. We're going to enjoy the sunset.